For the past couple of days, the sky's been crying, and I feel like I've been crying with it. In my hometown, the beginning of fall starts a very long period of rain, muddiness. I like rain to the extent where Earth can recover itself a little bit, but it seems like I'm not the only one who's in a sad season. But as much as I hate to say it, I think this is something necessary that I need to feel right now. It's the first time I'm consciously being aware of what's happening around me and why I'm feeling this huge amount of sadness at this time of my life. So I have to say that September is my birth month. Yes, I'm a Virgo. Usually the beginning of fall is the ending of a lot of things for me. A lot of my friendships ended around this time. Some of my birthdays were just mess, like a huge mess, and some of them I spent it alone because I didn't have anyone to spend it with besides my parents, of course. Thankfully, I have them to rely on, but you also need friends in your life, and as a little child, I wasn't someone who could retain friends, I guess. I know that this time is different. It's way more different. I'm 20, or I'm gonna be 20. I have people around me that I know that care about me, and I love them and I care about them as much as they do. And I know all of this, but still there's so much pain that is coming to the surface from all my subconscious memories that I've experienced, and so much shit that happens around this time. I feel like I should be happy that my birth month is finally here, but I feel like it's not a happy month. So one thing you need to know about me is that I am an overthinker. And if there's one thing that I hate about this, is that one thought bubble leads to the next, and then I end up self-destructing, which is the worst thing to do to yourself when you are on a healing journey. But it's part of my identity, and as much as I try to work on it, sometimes it comes back and it lures me into a state of depressive and anxious episodes. Today, like a crazy wave of sadness and reminiscence hit me, kind of past regrets, past decisions that I didn't make, or choices that I could have changed. A lot of things came up to me regarding my university choices and regarding my life in general. Sometimes I question myself, why am I actually doing this? Why is this actually something that is this really something that I want to do? And then I have to say yes, but there are so many things that I'm still to this day kind of anxious and fearful to do regarding new opportunities, and I'm kind of tired of that mindset, and being scared and regretful, and like not choosing to say yes and not choosing to open up or ask for directions or ask if you can be part of something. usually when I don't consciously process certain events in my life, they get piled up and I don't even see them or consider them until all of it blows up in my face. It's not just sadness, it's not just agony, it's anger, it's hate, it's fear, it's anxiety, but most of it is embarrassment and shame, getting lost in disillusioned desires, hoping that they will cure all that I'm avoiding. There's a part of me that feels trapped and wants to escape, but the pleasures that numbness brings sometimes is way stronger than that little voice who's telling me to just stop. So I've decided that this fall is going to be the fall of change. That instead of immersing myself into this huge grave of sadness and pain, I choose the other way around. I choose to rise from the ashes and do the exact opposite. Find the light, find love, find happiness, find it all within. And just because one day I feel down and sad, I will feel it, but then I will let it go. Because all emotions are temporary. Feeling them is the key to letting them go, and then choosing for my own good to do something that lights the fire inside me. All that is the way it's supposed to be. And we can learn from each and every moment of our lives. Past regrets, past decisions. But fearing the present moment in itself is way worse. Because I've realized that in all that made me feel numb, led me on a path of avoiding the present moment. Of always thinking of, when will this pass? When will this go by? How can I just survive this? The disillusions, addictions that gave me temporary pleasures, that numbed me, had only taught me to fear the present moment, fear everything that I'm experiencing in that single moment. But to avoid the present is to avoid life itself. wanted to talk to you all about something that has happened. There is this really dear friend in my life that I'm really grateful for. And I have to tell you that it's not easy for me to say this. It's not hard, but it's not easy because for so long I've been living in this survival mode of trying to protect myself from anything that could potentially hurt me in my life. September for me is the time of change, and I've decided to do something I wouldn't really have done before, and I've messed up. I gotta be honest with you, I messed up. There was this time in my life when I was really scared and really insecure, and in short, just so I could stay with the majority, I let this person down. And she was right. There was this part of me who was too scared to speak up or to say anything. And what happened is that it wasn't a situation that we talked through. There was no communication between us or between the group, because it wasn't just my fault, but I gotta say that I played a part in it, which I shouldn't have to. There are many things in my life that I'm really becoming conscious of as of now. I wanted to talk things throughout with this person because it was important for me that for the first time in my life, I fought for a friendship, because I used to just be like, let it go, don't give a crap, like, what have I done wrong, really being selfish and egotistic about the way this goes on. And when it comes to these situations like this, what happens is that my anger and hate grows, not necessarily towards the person, but towards the situation, that everything is foggy and I don't really understand what's going on. And instead of just speaking up, I let this simmer until again it blows up in my face. And this time, it's always hard for people in general to acknowledge that they might be wrong in a certain situation. We always try to find an scapegoat, and try to make it seem like we didn't do anything wrong. But in this situation, I had to be true to myself and say that yes, I fucked up. It might have been because of my mental illness. It might have been because of like trauma coming up, but ultimately I didn't handle the situation well, and I really don't want that friendship to go to waste, because I'm really grateful for this person for sticking with me when I was really alone. And I really, at this point in my life, I'm realizing that I cannot give up a friendship over a silly situation. It's really something enlightening when you open up your heart to accept that you are not a perfect person and that you mess things up sometimes. But that doesn't mean you're a bad person. It means that there was this situation that you couldn't react well because you were listening to your ego. Again, like, actions speak for themselves. It doesn't really matter what went on in my head. It still was an action that I did. But anyway, one kind of conclusion that I want to draw from this is that fear, anxiety, anger, and hate are all interconnected. They are all coming from really insecure, sad, and traumatic place. Usually they come up when we feel threatened. And again, the ego is trying to protect itself because it's willing to be comfortable. It's, staying in that comfort zone, and to the point where it doesn't really let certain situations affect me or affect that person, affect us on a deeper level. It's hard to acknowledge that you were wrong. It's hard to acknowledge that you might have messed up. It's hard to acknowledge that in this situation you have to be the one who's saying sorry. This is all something, in my opinion, that is hard to say, But when you take that leap of faith and you truly open your heart up to that other person, it's all because of love. And it's all because of you became conscious despite everything that your mind, your ego is telling you. So, what I'm trying to say is that I think I am finally getting to a place in my life where I don't want to feel safe anymore, in the sense that no matter what I do in my life, there will always be situations that will make me uncomfortable, that will make me feel unsafe. But if I truly listen to my heart and I don't let all of those negative emotions affect me, and I choose to stay conscious, I choose to listen to my heart, even if that means that there will be a certain negative conclusion. If I do it from a place of love, I think I can manage to do something better and be better in this world.